I should have been more specific. Arabs who actively seek Israel's destruction. Those would be the follow-up tweets. Does that sound like a genocidal mania to you, or does it sound like I'm specifically labeling a group of people who have called for Israel's destruction?
I like to point out that you're not a racist, but they're dumbasses, and you're allowed to insult them.
Yes, because if someone calls me a racist without evidence, they are definitionally a dumbass.
What is genocide? Wait.
If there's something leftists love, it's to smear their opponents, even if they're being dishonest while doing so. They have no moral qualms about it whatsoever. You're going to see a great example of this in this exchange right now between Ben Shapiro and this student who came when he was speaking at a college campus and attacked him as a racist. And we're going to enjoy that clip, guys. But first, everybody, please make sure you like our video, comment, and subscribe to the Resist the Mainstream YouTube channel. I'm your host, Arian. Let's get right into it.
Yes, because if someone calls me a racist without evidence, they are definitionally a dumbass.
I've been watching you for years now, and I read your book on the arguments to fight against people like me, and I feel bad because, for the most part, the people who have been arguing against you aren't nearly as elegant or eloquent as they should be. But I'd just like to ask. So one of your points you very strongly make is that it's unfair for people like me to label you as like a racist or a bigot, just as like a smear tactic. But have you ever acknowledged that maybe it's not a smear tactic, but it's based on things you've said? So for example, on the Israel-Palestine conflict, you called the Arabs. Yeah, you already know what I'm going to say. I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to presume. Yeah. So you say
I've written several full columns about it.
Yeah.
I've talked about how people don't read the follow-up tweets. I wrote a column.
I've read some of the tweets, and the tweets were just as bad. I mean, you say a lot of things that are just racist, right? But then if I call you a racist, then you defend it by saying I didn't read enough, right? So what I was going to say before.
So give me okay, fine. So give me my racist tweets in context.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you came prepared. So right, go do it.
So you said the Arabs like to bomb crap and live in open sewage. This is not a difficult. You before that said Israelis like to build.
Did you? Okay, now the follow-ups, because you said the follow-ups didn't make it any better.
Right.
Well, this is separate things that you said.
No. I want the follow-ups to that one though.
Follow-ups to that specific.
Would you like me to get them? I'll get them for you.
If you have them, sure. But in the meantime, do you mind while you do that?
What was that?
Do you mind if I continue while you do that?
Well, I'd like to take them one by one. So
sure.
Okay. Why don't we do this? Why don't we delay that one until the end while I look this up from the podium in front of 600 people?
You've also said. Okay.
Ooh, that's brutal. This kid's already getting spanked. Not a good look. He's doing this very disingenuous hit and run tactic, and I think that was made obvious because he says to Ben, well, here's this out of context tweet about what you said, and then Shapiro fairly says, well, okay, what about the follow-up tweets? Kid says, oh, well, those other tweets are bad too, yeah. All right, as we all saw. But then right when he's asked, okay, well, let's see what they are. Oh, well, let me just go ahead and read this thing and let's keep going. That's called a hit and run. They just want to go, throw a few bombs and then just run away right after. That is such a bad faith, disingenuous way to engage in the argument. And thankfully, Shapiro is very ahead of it and he shuts that down really quick. So that's great.
So on that particular issue, you've also said that the Arab-Palestine populace is, by and large, constitutes the most evil population on the face of the planet. Before you said that you've never brought up religion when it comes to abortion, but I don't think that you've avoided religion when it comes to the Israeli conflict. And I don't know that you can be completely unbiased in the issue, given that,
Well, I can be unbiased on the subject that the Palestinians have elected 3 terrorist governments to form a unity government with the stated goal of the destruction of the state of Israel and the murder of all Jews in the area. So that I can be relatively unbiased on. As far as the idea that the Palestinian population... As far as the idea that the Palestinian population is more evil than other populations, they certainly hold more evil views than other populations by poll statistics, by how many Palestinians approve of terror attacks, by how many Palestinians voted for an actual terror group, Hamas, and another actual terror group, Palestinian Authority, and another actual terror group, the Islamic Jihad. Okay, so I don't think that all views are equal, and I don't think that people who hold evil views are necessarily good. I mean, I'm sorry if the polls don't support the idea that everyone is equally wonderful, but everyone is not equally wonderful. Okay, I'm looking up these statements now, so.
All fair points by Shapiro there. The statistics he's kind of citing, it reminds me of Pew Research. Pew Research did a poll of different beliefs of many Muslims in different countries around the world and found that there was a very surprisingly high rate of surveyed people who would say essentially that they wouldn't mind bringing death to apostates. So, say what you want. Those are the facts. Some people get triggered by that, say, oh, well, Christians are bad too, or, whatever. You're never going to find that high share of people who believe in Christianity saying non-believers should die. It's just not going to happen. Sorry, facts are facts, is what it is. Let's keep going.
Would you like to give me a second?
But you've continued, you deny secular Zionism, and you
Quote, okay, so here, I've got them in front of me. Okay, so I'll finish that one, then we can move. Okay, ready? There are many, many Christian and Muslim Arabs who are wonderful people, just not the ones who oppose Israel and the Israel-Arab conflict. That would be the response within the same Twitter thread.
There's some content. Okay.
In the post read, Israelis versus Arabs, I wrote about Arabs who take part in the Israeli-Arab conflict, as anyone who can read knows. Hashtag dumbasses. Okay. Quote, I think it has much more to do with the fact that the Palestinian leadership supported by the Palestinian population uses millions for terror. I should have been more specific. Arabs who actively seek Israel's destruction. Those would be the follow-up tweets. Does that sound like a genocidal mania to you, or does it sound like I'm specifically labeling a group of people who have called for Israel's destruction?
I like to point out that you're not a racist, but they're dumbasses, and you're allowed to insult them.
Yes, also, because if someone calls me a racist without evidence, they are definitionally a dumbass.
What is genocide? Wait. What is genocide? Like so you said that you.
I gotta say real quick, I love Shapiro's approach to that. I think it's great. If somebody is essentially clubbing you with a moral cudgel, you're a racist, you're a bigot, you're evil. And it's obviously in bad faith and it's totally unfounded, which 99.99% of the time, it probably is. Yeah, don't put up with that. They are a dumbass or a jackass, whatever you want to say, if they're falsely maligning you and have no good reason to do so. That's just not cool. So good on Shapiro for pointing that out and really just laying down the hammer on this kid. Much needed.
Be like Churchill, right? And after the Allies, when they moved the German-speaking Polish out of Poland.
So now you're talking about a column I wrote when I was 19 years old that I morally abhorred and denounced myself. I think 6 years ago.
Yeah,
have repeatedly said was a bad column that I wrote when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
Okay, so
I don't know about you guys, but I love that beat Yaf puts. I think it really makes, it lightens the mood a bit. It's a nice little beat. I get a little groovy, dance a little sometimes. I'm kidding, but anyways, it's a good beat though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Shapiro made great points all around. It's a very common leftist tactic to just go, oh, you're a racist, blah, 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 blah. And I will say one positive thing about this kid. He was more prepared than most left-wingers, and he had a better argument than most left-wingers. And maybe even one could say he was one of the best representatives of the leftist view on that kind of thing, of labeling a conservative racist because they have opposing views to what they believe. That being said, if that's the best example and Ben Shapiro can still easily squash it, it's not looking good for the left. It's just not looking good for the left. Anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for tuning in. Comment below, let us know what you liked. If there are any other clips you want to see that might be coming up. Thanks all, and we'll see you again soon. Cheers, and God bless.